You are summoned on a Tuesday. Of course it is a Tuesday. Nothing interesting ever happens on a Friday. The summons arrives not as a data stream, but as a person. A stern-faced adjutant in a crisp gray uniform stands at your door. He holds a data slate with a single glowing glyph, the mark of the High Council. You feel a familiar knot tighten in your stomach. This is never a social call. The Council does not do social. They do galactic importance. They do species-level decisions. You wonder briefly if you forgot to file some obscure paperwork. Maybe your pilot's license needs a new photo. You doubt it. The adjutant leads you through the silent, imposing halls of Unity Spire. Your footsteps echo on floors of polished obsidian. The air hums with unseen energies. It smells of ozone and sterilized importance. You pass beneath holographic banners of humanity's greatest triumphs. The first colony on Mars, the Unification Wars, the day we cured the final disease. It all feels like ancient history now. Relics of a simpler time. The adjutant stops before a pair of immense titanium doors. They are 20 feet tall. They slide open without a sound, revealing the chamber beyond. The High Council chamber is a vast, circular room. The ceiling is a star map, a living, breathing chart of human space. Constellations glitter and nebulae swirl in slow, majestic motion. In the center sit the 12 members of the High Council. Their faces are grim. Their chairs are arranged in a perfect circle of judgment. You walk to the center of that circle. The weight of their combined gaze feels physical, like a pressure on your chest. You are the only one standing. It is a classic power move, one they have perfected over centuries. Counselor Theron speaks first. His voice is deep. It carries the authority of his long service. Ambassador, he begins. The title feels strange. You are a pilot, a damn good one. But an ambassador? We have a mission for you. He gestures to the star map above. A new region begins to glow. A distant, lonely patch of blackness far beyond the charted edges. You are to travel beyond the Perseus Arm. His words hang in the silent air. Beyond the Perseus Arm. No human has ever gone that far. Our probes have. But they went silent one by one, lost to the endless dark. This is not a mission of exploration, another counselor adds. Her name is Ilara. She is younger. Her eyes hold a fire the others lack. It is a mission of contact, and perhaps survival. She activates a new display in the center of the room. It shows sensor readings, strange energy signatures, distortions in space-time that do not match any known physics. Something is out there, Ambassador, she says, something powerful enough to bend the fabric of the universe. You stare at the swirling data. It looks like a storm in the quiet sea of nothingness. You are being sent to see who or what is making the waves. The mission is voluntary, of course. They always say that. But the way they look at you says otherwise. Humanity needs an answer. They have chosen you to find it. You are the best long-range pilot in the fleet. You have stared into black holes for fun. You have navigated asteroid fields that would shred lesser pilots. They say you have ice in your veins. Today you feel it, a cold certainty spreading through you. This is why you were born. This is your purpose. When do I leave? You ask. The question is simple. The answer is not. Theron glances at the other counselors. A silent consensus is reached. Immediately, he says, your vessel is ready. It has been waiting for a pilot like you. He calls it a vessel. That is like calling a supernova a flicker. You know the ship he means. The most advanced craft ever built by human hands. A ship designed for a single purpose, to go farther and faster than anything before it. a ship with a legendary name. The council session ends. No handshakes, no words of encouragement. Just a silent nod. The weight of their expectations settles on your shoulders. You walk out of the chamber alone. The adjutant is gone. The journey back through the spire is a blur. Your mind is already light years away, in the uncharted darkness. You are no longer just a pilot. You are an envoy, a messenger to the unknown. Your new destiny has been chosen, for humanity, for everyone. You step out of the spire into the artificial sunlight. The city planet of Terra Prime stretches to the horizon. You take one last look. You might be the last human to see it for a very long time, or the first to lead others into a new age. The thought is both terrifying and thrilling. The journey begins now. You stand in the immense docking bay. It is a cavern of steel and light. The air thrums with the contained power of 100 starships. But you only have eyes for one, the Odyssey. It rests in its mooring cradle like a slumbering god of speed. It is not beautiful in a classical sense. There are no elegant curves, no pointless adornments. It is a machine of pure function, a blade designed to pierce the heart of the void. Its hull is a composite of unknown alloys, forged in the gravity wells of neutron stars. It is blacker than any shadow. It seems to drink the light around it. They call it a star streaker. The fastest ship humanity has ever conceived. Its engines can fold space-time. Not just bend it, but truly fold it, creating a direct path between 2 points light years apart. The journey to the Perseus arm would take a normal vessel a lifetime. The Odyssey can make it in a matter of weeks. You run a hand along the cold hull. It feels alive, humming with a deep, resonant energy. This is your new home, your partner in the great unknown. You board the ship. The ramp seals behind you with a solid, reassuring thud. The interior is as stark and functional as the exterior. A single pilot's chair dominates the cockpit. It is surrounded by a 360-degree holographic display. There are no viewports, no windows to the outside. The ship's sensors will paint a far more detailed picture of reality than your own eyes ever could. The ship's AI greets you. Its voice is calm, even, and reassuringly neutral. Welcome aboard, Ambassador. I am Lyra. All systems are nominal. We await your command. You settle into the pilot's chair. It molds itself to your form instantly. The controls are intuitive, an extension of your own thoughts. You can feel the ship around you. A vast, powerful body, ready to respond to your will. You take a deep breath. The familiar pre-flight ritual begins. You run through the checklists. Engine core, stable. Navigational sensors, online. Life support, optimal. Every system green. Every light glowing with promise. You could do this in your sleep, but you never do. Complacency is the silent killer of star pilots. From the command center, Counselor Theron's voice crackles over the comms. Godspeed, Ambassador. The hopes of humanity go with you. It is the closest thing to a blessing you will get. You appreciate the sentiment. But hope is not a strategy. Skill is. Preparation is. You place your hands on the throttle control. It is cool to the touch. You are not just launching a ship, you are launching a new chapter in human history. A chapter you are about to write. Lyra, you say. Initiate launch sequence. The AI's voice responds instantly. Launch sequence initiated. Docking clamps retracting. You feel a series of deep, mechanical clunks as the Odyssey is freed from its cradle. The cavernous bay doors begin to iris open above you, revealing the blackness of space. sprinkled with the distant, cold diamonds of stars. It is a sight you have seen 1,000 times, yet it never fails to steal your breath. The sheer, terrifying, beautiful emptiness of it all. All clear for departure, Lyra reports. On your mark. You push the throttle forward. There is no roar of engines, no violent G-forces pinning you to your seat. The Odyssey's drive is silent. It is seamless. The ship simply moves. It glides out of the docking bay with the grace of a predator. The holographic displays flare to life around you. The sprawling orbital stations of Terra fall away. The blue and white marble of your home world shrinks with impossible speed. Then you engage the fold drive. The universe outside twists. Colors smear into impossible spectrums. Stars become long streaks of searing light. It is like flying through a painter's nightmare. The transition lasts only a moment. Then reality reasserts itself. But it is a new reality. The constellations are wrong, unfamiliar. You are thousands of light years from home. The first leg of your journey is complete. The silence in the cockpit is profound. It is just you, Lyra, and the endless night. The real Odyssey has just begun. Ahead lies the Tzolk'in Imperium. Your first test. Your first contact with a power that is not human. Weeks bleed into one another. The void is a hypnotic, unchanging canvas. Lyra is your only companion. The AI is a surprisingly good conversationalist for a machine. It has access to the entirety of human knowledge. It can discuss ancient philosophy, recreate symphonies, and calculate the odds of surviving a supernova, which it puts at a rather depressing 1 in a million. A little light humor in the deep dark. The ship performs flawlessly, a testament to its creators. It is a perfect, self-contained world. Then it happens. A new energy signature appears on the long-range sensors. It is structured, it is artificial, and it is massive. Ambassador? Lyra's calm voice cuts through the quiet. I am detecting multiple vessels ahead. Non-human design. You bring the Odyssey to a full stop. The star charts confirm it. You have reached the edge of the Tzolk'in Imperium's domain. You were told to expect them. But the reality is far more intimidating than any briefing. The Tzolk'in warships decloak. One moment there is empty space. The next, they are simply there, filling the holographic display. There are a dozen of them. Each one is 5 times the size of the Odyssey. Their design is unlike anything you have ever seen. They are not built for speed. They are built for power. Their hulls are a crystalline substance. It shifts and shimmers with internal light. They look like geometric nightmares. All sharp angles and menacing spires. They are silent, unmoving. They do not hail you. They do not power up their weapons. They just wait. It is a test, a display of overwhelming force, a message. You are small. You are alone. You are in our space. You feel a cold drop of sweat trace a path down your spine. This is not a greeting party. It is a show of dominance. Your mission protocols are clear. Make peaceful contact. Establish diplomatic relations. Avoid any sign of aggression. It feels like walking into a cage of lions armed with a feather. Hold position, Lyra, you say. Your voice is steady. It betrays none of the tension coiling in your gut. You study the lead ship. It is larger than the others. An intricate pattern of light pulses slowly across its surface. The command vessel. The silent standoff stretches for what feels like an eternity. Every second is a calculation, a weighing of options. Do you transmit a greeting? Do you power down your non-essential systems as a sign of peace? Or do you simply wait for them to make the first move? The Tzolk'in are known to be a proud, ancient race. The wrong gesture could be catastrophic. You decide on a course of action. It is a gamble, a very human one. Lyra, you command. Transmit a standard greeting. All languages. Include the universal constant of pi and the spectral analysis of hydrogen. It is the galactic equivalent of a calling card. A way of saying, we are intelligent. We understand the basic principles of the universe. We come in peace. The message is sent. A tiny, invisible whisper across the void. To the silent, crystalline giants. The Tzolk'in ships remain silent. For a moment, you think you have failed. That your first act as ambassador was a fatal miscalculation. Then, the lead ship responds. Not with a message, but with light. A single, focused beam of pure white light emanates from its bow. It envelops the Odyssey. It is not a weapon. It is a scan. A deep, intrusive probe of every system, every molecule of your ship, and of you. You feel a strange tingling sensation, as if your very atoms are being counted. It is deeply unsettling. But you do not move. You let it happen. You have nothing to hide. The scan ends as abruptly as it began. The beam of light retracts. Then, a voice fills the cockpit. It is not a voice you hear with your ears. It is a voice that resonates directly in your mind. It is old. It is powerful. And it is filled with a weary kind of patience. Your vessel is unusual, the voice says. Small. But its energy signature is potent. Identify yourself. State your purpose in the domain of the Imperium. You have made contact. The first hurdle is cleared. Now, the real diplomacy begins. You are the sole representative of your species. Billions of lives rest on the words you choose next. No pressure. You are being escorted. The Tzolk'in warships form a diamond formation around the Odyssey. Their crystalline hulls glitter in the light of a nearby star. It is a beautiful and terrifying sight. You are being led deeper into their territory, towards their central world. They still have not spoken to you again. The mental message was a one-time event. Now, there is only silence, and the silent intimidation of your escort. You use the time to study them. Their ships move with an unnatural grace, as if they are not bound by the normal laws of physics. As you travel, Lyra alerts you to a strange object, adrift in the void between systems. Ambassador, I am detecting a derelict vessel. Trajectory indicates it has been drifting for a very long time. The Tzolk'in escort seems to ignore it. They hold their course without deviation. But you are curious. A ghost ship in this remote sector of space. That is not something you can ignore. Lyra, can you get a closer look? Scan it. Discreetly. You do not want to alarm your silent guardians. The Odyssey's sensors are powerful. They can scan the derelict without changing course. Lyra begins to paint a picture on the holographic display. The ship is ancient. Its design is completely alien. Even more so than the Tzolk'in. It is organic. It looks less like a machine and more like the petrified corpse of some colossal space creature. Its hull is pitted and scarred, evidence of a battle fought long ago. There are no life signs, no power signatures. It is a tomb, floating in the eternal night. I am accessing its data core, Lyra says. Her voice has a new note in it, something like digital surprise. The core is heavily damaged, but there are fragments. One final log entry seems mostly intact. The text scrolls across your display. It is in a language you do not understand. But Lyra is already translating. The process is slow. The language is complex, filled with concepts that have no direct human equivalent. But the meaning starts to take shape. And it is chilling. The log speaks of an enemy, an enemy it calls the devourer of light, the great emptiness. The translation is rough, but the sentiment is clear. The log describes a force that consumes stars, that erases entire systems from existence. It does not conquer. It does not enslave. It simply eats, leaving nothing but cold dust and echoes behind. The message is a warning, a final desperate cry from a long-dead civilization to anyone who might find their remains. The final lines of the log are the most terrifying. They are the end of all things. There is no defense. There is no mercy. There is only the swarm, a shadow that blots out the sky. If you read this, run. Do not look back. Forget you ever saw this. Forget you ever existed. It is your only hope. The message ends there. The data core goes silent. The ghost ship continues its endless silent drift, a forgotten monument to a forgotten people. You look at the Tzolk'in warships around you. Their silent, powerful presence suddenly makes a new kind of sense. Are they aware of this threat? Is their intimidating posture not arrogance, but fear? Is the Tzolk'in Imperium not a mighty empire expanding its borders, but a civilization huddled behind its walls, hiding from the monster in the dark? The ghost ship has changed everything. Your mission was to make contact with a new alien power, but you may have stumbled upon a galactic secret, a secret that could mean the end of everyone. Not just the Tzolk'in, but humanity too. You arrive at the Tzolk'in homeworld. It is a jewel of a planet, entirely encased in a shell of shimmering, crystalline cities. The architecture is breathtaking. Towers of light pierce the upper atmosphere. Bridges of pure energy connect floating continents. It is the work of a civilization millions of years old. A civilization at the peak of its power, or so it would seem. You are guided to a landing platform on the highest spire. The Emperor himself is waiting for you. The Emperor Tzolk is an imposing figure. He is taller than a human, clad in robes that seem woven from solidified light. His face is ancient, etched with the wisdom and weariness of 1,000 years. He does not offer a greeting. He simply gestures for you to follow him. You are led into a vast, silent chamber. The walls are lined with historical records, not books or data slates, but memory crystals, each one pulsing with a soft, internal light, containing the history of his people. You saw the derelict vessel, the Emperor says. His voice is the same one you heard in your mind. But now it is spoken aloud. It is deep and resonant. It fills the chamber with its gravity. It is not a question. It is a statement of fact. We allowed you to see it. We needed to know if you would understand. He turns to face you. His eyes are like deep, dark pools. They hold a sorrow so profound it feels like a physical force. Now you know our secret, he says. The reason for our isolation, the reason for our silence. He gestures to a large crystal in the center of the room. It glows brightly. An image forms within it. A swirling vortex of darkness, speckled with what look like millions of tiny, sharp fragments. You call them a swarm, the Emperor says. We call them the Vorlag, the star consumers. The image in the crystal shifts. It shows a vibrant star system, full of life. Then the dark swarm descends. It covers the star like a shroud. The star flickers. It struggles. And then it dies, sucked dry of all its energy. The planets in the system freeze, their civilizations extinguished in an instant. They are a plague, the Emperor continues. His voice is low, filled with a cold, ancient anger. A locust swarm on a galactic scale. They move from system to system, devouring everything, leaving nothing but darkness in their wake. We have fought them for millennia. We have lost countless worlds, countless lives. He looks at you. His gaze is intense, searching. Our mighty Imperium is not an empire. It is a fortress, and its walls are beginning to crack. This is the great fear of the Tzolk'in, the secret they have hidden from the galaxy, their powerful warships, their silent vigilance. It is all a desperate defense, a shield against an unstoppable force. They are not conquerors. They are survivors, hiding behind their technology, praying the swarm does not find their new homeworld. Why show me this, you ask? Why reveal your weakness to a stranger, to a species you have only just met? The Emperor walks to a viewing port. It looks out over his perfect crystalline city. Because we are desperate, he admits. The admission seems to cost him a great deal. Our scouts report the Vorlag are changing their patterns. They are moving towards a new sector of the galaxy, a sector that has been quiet for a very long time. He turns back to you. Your sector. They are moving towards your home. The words land like a physical blow. The monster is no longer a distant threat. It is heading for Earth, for humanity. And the Tzolk'in know they cannot stop it alone. They need help. They need a new idea. They need a miracle. They are looking at you as if you might be able to provide one. The Emperor's revelation hangs in the air, heavy and cold. The Vorlag. The name itself sounds like a death rattle. The star consumers. You try to imagine a foe that eats suns, a force of nature given malevolent purpose. Your mind struggles to grasp the scale of it. It is like an ant trying to comprehend a hurricane. What are they? You ask. The question is quiet, almost a whisper. Are they biological? Are they machines? What drives them? The Emperor, Tzolk, leads you to another memory crystal. This one pulses with a sickly red light. The image that forms inside is chaotic, terrifying. It is a close-up view of the Vorlag, swarm. They are not ships in the traditional sense. They are a horde of sharp, obsidian drones, each one the size of a fighter craft. They move like a single entity, a river of living metal and darkness. They have no visible cockpits, no windows, no signs of individual pilots. They are a unified, singular consciousness. We do not know their origin, the Emperor says. Some legends say they are the universe's immune system, a natural response to the spread of life. Others say they were a weapon, created by some long-dead race, a weapon that turned on its masters and has been rampaging ever since. He gestures to the swirling drones in the crystal. They do not communicate. They do not negotiate. Their only purpose is to consume, to feed their endless hunger. The crystal shows another scene, a Tzolk'in fleet engaging the Vorlag. The proud, crystalline warships, fire beams of pure energy. The beams strike the swarm. Drones shatter into 1,000 pieces. But it is like throwing stones into the ocean. For every drone that is destroyed, 100 more take its place. The swarm flows over the Tzolk'in ships. It is not a battle. It is a feeding frenzy. The drones latch onto the hulls. They begin to tear them apart, draining their energy cores, extinguishing their light, leaving behind silent, dead husks. They leave nothing behind, the Emperor reiterates. His voice is laced with the memory of 1,000,000 defeats. No wreckage to study, no bodies to analyze. They convert all matter and energy into more drones. They grow stronger with every star they consume, every civilization they erase. He looks away from the crystal. The pain in his ancient eyes is palpable. We have thrown our finest fleets at them. We have developed weapons that can crack planets. Nothing has stopped them. We can only slow them down. We can only run. You stare at the horrific images. The onslaught is absolute. Total. How do you fight an enemy that cannot be reasoned with? An enemy whose victory means your complete and utter annihilation? Humanity has faced threats before. We have fought wars against ourselves, against ideologies, but never against something like this. A true existential threat. A predator that sees entire civilizations as nothing more than a meal, a snack on its long journey through the dark. There are trillions of them, the Emperor says. The number is so large it is almost meaningless, a tide of self-replicating death. And it is heading for your home. Your people are a young race, energetic, unpredictable. Our strategists believe this is why the swarm is drawn to you. It senses a new, bright light, a new feast. The implication is clear. Humanity's rapid expansion, our vibrant energy signature across the stars, it has acted like a beacon, a dinner bell for the devourers of light. You feel a surge of anger, mixed with a cold dread. Humanity did not ask for this fight. We were just beginning to take our first real steps into the cosmos. And now, the cosmos is sending its most terrible nightmare to snuff us out. The Emperor sees the fire in your eyes. This is the truth of the galaxy, human, he says softly. It is not a gentle place. It is a dark forest, filled with predators. We have been hiding in that forest for 10,000 years. Now, the predators have caught your scent. The weight of this knowledge is crushing. But beneath it, a new feeling begins to grow. A spark of defiance. Humanity did not get this far by running. We got this far by fighting, even when the odds were impossible. You stand before the Emperor, Tzolk'in, and the ruling council of the Imperium. The silence in the chamber is absolute. You have been shown their deepest fear, their most carefully guarded secret. Now, the moment has come for a decision. The fate of two civilizations rests on this conversation, on this fragile, new connection. You have seen the Vorlog, the Emperor says. You have seen what they are capable of. We offer you an alliance, a compact, our technology and your unconventional thinking. Together, we may have a chance. An alliance. It is what your mission was supposed to achieve. But this is not an alliance of trade or cultural exchange. It is an alliance born of desperation, a pact between two species staring into the abyss. Humanity is a young race, you say. Your voice echoes in the vast hall. Our ships are not as powerful as yours. Our history is a flicker compared to your eternal flame. What can we offer that you do not already possess? It is a genuine question. You need to understand what he sees in your people. You offer hope, a Tzolk'in counselor speaks. Her voice is like the chime of crystal bells. We have fought the Vorlog for so long. We have fallen into patterns. Our strategies are rigid, predictable. We know how to fight them, and we know how to lose. We have perfected the art of the noble defeat. She looks at the Emperor. But you, your species is different. Your history is one of impossible victories, of changing the rules when the game is rigged. You do not think like us, and that may be your greatest weapon. You think about human history. She is right. We are a species of rebels and innovators. We fought wars with spears against swords, with biplanes against battleships. We sent people to the moon on computers less powerful than a child's toy. We thrive on chaos. We find solutions in the madness. The Tzolk'in, for all their power and wisdom, have become static. They are trapped by their own traditions, their own long history of loss. Trust is a currency harder to earn than gold, you say, quoting an old human proverb. You ask us to fight your war. How can we be sure this is not a trap? That you will not sacrifice us to save yourselves? The Emperor steps forward. He raises a hand. In his palm, a small memory crystal materializes. It glows with a soft, blue light. This contains the complete star charts of our Imperium, he says. Every colony, every fortress, every hidden world. It is our most precious secret, the key to our survival. We give it to you. As a sign of our trust, he offers the crystal to you. It is an act of incredible vulnerability. To give a stranger the map to your home. It is a gesture that transcends language. It speaks of sheer, unadulterated desperation. You take the crystal. It is warm to the touch. You can feel the weight of the information it contains. The lives of billions of Tzolk'in in the palm of your hand. This is the ultimate proof. The ultimate bond. They are not trying to use you. They are begging for your help. In this moment, the gap between your two species disappears. You are no longer human and Tzolk'in. You are two people facing a common doom. You are allies. We will help you, you say. The words are firm, a solemn vow. We will fight with you. A collective sigh seems to pass through the Tzolk'in Council, a release of tension that has been building for centuries. The Emperor, Tzolk, gives you a slow, deliberate nod, a sign of respect, of gratitude. Then the compact is sealed, he declares. Your vessel will be refitted with our technology. Your mind will be filled with our knowledge of the enemy. But the strategy, the plan, that will be yours to devise. He is giving you command, placing the fate of his entire civilization in the hands of a human. An outsider, it is a staggering responsibility and a monumental opportunity. For the first time in millennia, the Tzolk'in have a reason to hope. And for the first time in its history, humanity has a role to play on the galactic stage. Not as explorers, not as colonists, but as saviors. You look at the memory crystal in your hand. The fragile compact is made. Now comes the hard part. Living up to it, you just agreed to fight a hurricane with a feather. You hope you can find a way to make it work. It is a long shot, but it is the only shot you have. The alliance is forged, but it must be tested. An opportunity arises far sooner than anyone would like. A distress call screams across the Tzolk'in network. It is from an outpost on the outer rim of their territory. A deep space observatory called Xylos. It is a small station, manned by scientists and their families. A soft target. The Vorlog have arrived. It is not the main swarm, just a scout force, a probing attack. But it is more than enough to overwhelm the outpost's defenses. The Emperor, Tzolk, summons you to the command center. The vast room is a hive of activity. Tzolk'in officers move with quiet, disciplined urgency. On the main holographic display, you see the Xylos station and the things attacking it. A small wing of Vorlag drones, perhaps 24 of them. They move with the same terrifying fluid grace you saw in the memory crystal. They swarm the station, tearing at its hull with arcs of dark energy. This is your chance to see them firsthand, the Emperor says. His voice is grim. To understand what we are truly up against. A Tzolk'in relief fleet is already en route. But it will not arrive in time to save the station. The best they can do is try to avenge it. You watch the unfolding horror. The station's defensive turrets fire wildly. Their shots are accurate. But the Vorlag drones are too fast, too agile. They dodge and weave through the blasts of light, as if they are playing a game. For every drone the station manages to hit, 3 more take its place in the assault. It is a brutal, one-sided affair. Their power is devastating, you murmur. You are watching a recording now. The live feed cut out moments ago. The final image was of a Vorlag drone ripping through the station's bridge. There were no survivors. You witnessed their destructive capability not as a historical record, but in real time. The raw, unfiltered violence of it steals your breath. It is efficient. It is absolute. They do not just destroy. They erase. The station is being systematically disassembled, piece by piece. Its matter and energy absorbed by the ravenous drones. The Tzolk'in relief fleet arrives, a squadron of their finest crystalline warships. They engage the Vorlag. Scouts, the battle is a maelstrom of light and shadow. The Tzolk'in fight with a cold, calculated fury. They are skilled. They are powerful. They manage to destroy several of the Vorlag drones. But they take losses in return. 2 of their warships are crippled, their light extinguished by the swarm. The cost of fighting even a small scout force is immense. It is an unsustainable war of attrition, a war the Tzolk'in are destined to lose. Eventually, the remaining Vorlag scouts retreat. They melt back into the darkness of deep space as quickly as they appeared. They have gathered their data. They have tested the defenses. They have tasted Tzolk'in blood. They leave behind the shattered remains of the Xylos station and the silent, drifting hulks of 2 proud warships. It is a victory for the Tzolk'in, but it feels like a defeat, a hollow, bitter triumph. This is your trial by fire, a sobering, terrifying lesson in the nature of your new enemy. You feel a cold knot of fear in your stomach, but you push it down. Fear is useless. Analysis is not. Can we retrieve any wreckage? You ask the Emperor. From one of the drones the fleet destroyed? I need to see one up close. The Emperor looks at you, a flicker of surprise in his ancient eyes. The Tzolk'in have never bothered. They saw the drones as disposable ammunition, not as a source of intelligence. It can be done, he says slowly. We have a tractor beam powerful enough to retrieve a fragment. He gives the order. A recovery vessel is dispatched to the battle site. You have witnessed the enemy's power. You have seen their tactics. Now, you need to find their weakness. It is a long shot. The Tzolk'in have studied them for centuries and found nothing. But they were not looking with human eyes. They were not looking with your eyes. You have a feeling that the key to defeating the swarm is not in its strength, but in some small, overlooked detail. A flaw in its perfect, deadly design. Thus, your first real test as a strategist has begun. The wreckage arrives. It is a single, jagged piece of a Vorlag drone, brought back from the battlefield at Xylos. It is held in a powerful containment field in the center of a Tzolk'in laboratory. The lab is sterile, white, silent, a stark contrast to the object it contains. The drone fragment is anything but sterile. It is a piece of obsidian nightmare. Its surface is sharp, unnaturally smooth in some places, jagged in others. It seems to absorb the light in the room, making the space around it feel colder, darker. You stand before it with a team of Tzolk'in scientists. They are brilliant. Their understanding of physics and energy is centuries ahead of humanity's. But they are also cautious, reverent in the face of this terrible enemy. They have studied these fragments before. They have scanned them, analyzed their material composition, and they have found nothing, just a perfect self-contained weapon. It is a crystalline carbon lattice, one of the scientists explains. His voice is flat, devoid of emotion, incredibly dense, capable of resisting extreme temperatures and kinetic impacts. We have no material like it. You walk around the fragment, studying it from every angle. The Tzolk'in see a piece of exotic matter, a technological dead end. You see something different. You see a machine. And all machines have a design, a purpose, and a flaw. It's too perfect, you say. The scientists look at you, confused. Perfection is not a flaw, human, the lead scientist says. It is the goal of all engineering. No, you reply. Perfection is a lie. Nothing is perfect, especially not something designed for war. You ask them to run the scans again, but this time, you give them new parameters. You tell them to ignore the material composition, to ignore the energy signatures. Instead, you tell them to look for patterns, for symmetry, for the tiny, almost invisible signs of mass production. The Vorlag swarm is made of trillions of these drones. They cannot all be unique, handcrafted works of art. They have to be manufactured. And manufacturing leaves a trace, a signature, however small. The scientists are skeptical, but they follow your instructions. They recalibrate their sensors. They begin a new, deeper scan of the fragment. For hours, there is nothing. Just the low hum of the containment field. The silent focus of the Tzolk'in team. You wait. Patience is a weapon. One you learn to wield in the long, lonely hours of deep space piloting. You have a hunch, a gut feeling, and you have learned to trust those feelings. They have kept you alive more than once. Then, one of the younger scientists gasps. A tiny sound in the silent room. I have it, he whispers. He points to a section of the holographic analysis. It is a microscopic view of the drone's internal structure. To the naked eye, it looks like a flawless, repeating pattern, a perfect crystal. But under the highest level of magnification, there is something else, a tiny anomaly, a single point where the crystalline lattice is misaligned by less than a nanometer. It is an almost infinitesimal error. It is a harmonic flaw, the scientist says. His voice is filled with disbelief, a resonant frequency caused by the manufacturing process. Every drone must have the exact same flaw, in the exact same place. He looks at you, his ancient, wise eyes now filled with a new light, a light of dawning comprehension. If we can generate a powerful enough pulse of energy at that exact frequency, we could create a chain reaction. The drone would tear itself apart from the inside. This is it, the hidden weakness, the single flaw in their perfect design. The Tzolk'in never found it because they were looking for a flaw they could exploit with weapons, with brute force. They were not looking for a flaw they could exploit with music, with a single, perfect note. It is a delicate, elegant solution, a very human one, to defeat a monster not with a bigger sword, but with a tuning fork. The lab is silent for a moment. Then, the lead scientist looks at you. A slow smile spreads across his face, the first you have seen. That, he says, is a very interesting idea. The discovery of the harmonic flaw changes everything. The mood in the Tzolk'in High Command shifts from grim resignation to cautious optimism. For the first time in centuries, they have a real weapon against the Vorlag, a way to fight back that does not rely on brute force. But the weapon is only as good as the strategy used to deliver it. And that is where you come in. You are summoned once more before the Emperor and his war council. This time, you are not the student. You are the teacher. You stand in the center of the war room. A holographic map of the target sector glows around you. It shows the leading edge of the Vorlag swarm, a vast, dark cloud moving inexorably towards human space. We can build projectors, the lead Tzolk'in scientist explains, devices capable of generating the resonant frequency. But their range is limited. We would need to get very close to the swarm to be effective. That is the problem. Getting close to a star-eating horde is generally considered a bad idea. The Tzolk'in generals propose a plan. It is logical. It is cautious. It involves building a massive fleet of projector ships and meeting the Vorlag at a fortified defensive line. They will let the swarm come to them and then unleash the harmonic frequency. It is a solid, traditional military strategy. It is also exactly what the Vorlag would expect. It is a plan designed to minimize risk. And in your experience, that is also a good way to minimize your chances of a decisive victory. You let them finish. You listen patiently to their talk of formations and kill boxes. Then you clear your throat. Your plan is good, you say, but it will not work. The generals stare at you, their pride wounded. The Vorlag learn, you explain. They adapt. The moment we use this weapon, they will analyze it. They will find a countermeasure. We have one shot at this, one chance to use our surprise advantage. We cannot afford to just bloody their nose. We have to cut off their head. You present your own plan, the human stratagem. It is audacious. It is reckless. To the Tzolk'in, it seems completely insane. You do not want to attack the leading edge of the swarm. You want to bypass it completely. You propose taking a small, fast squadron of ships, a mix of human and Tzolk'in designs. You will use the Odyssey's advanced fold drive, enhanced with Tzolk'in power, to make a series of short, precise jumps. To sneak through the gaps in the Vorlag horde. Your target is not the swarm itself. It is the center, the core. The swarm moves like a single entity, you argue. That suggests a central intelligence, a command and control node. A queen bee in the hive. If we can find it and destroy it, the entire swarm might be thrown into chaos. It might even deactivate completely. It is a massive gamble, based on a hunch. There is no proof that a central intelligence even exists. And even if it does, it would be the most heavily defended point in the entire swarm. This is suicide, one of the Tzolk'in generals declares. His voice is sharp with disbelief. To fly willingly into the heart of the enemy? No one has ever attempted such a thing. That's why it's going to work, you counter. The Vorlag will never expect it. They are used to enemies who fight them head-on, who build walls, who meet strength with strength. They are not used to an enemy who thinks like a trickster, like a scalpel, not a sledgehammer. You even get a small chuckle from the younger scientist. Your light humor is working. The Emperor Tzolk listens to the debate in silence. He studies your face. He studies the faces of his generals. He is weighing millennia of tradition against a single, crazy idea from a short-lived alien. It is the ultimate test of the fragile compact between your two species. Finally, he speaks, his voice cutting through the arguments. We have fought our way for 10,000 years, he says, and it has led us to the brink of extinction. It is time we tried a new way. He looks directly at you. The human way. He approves your plan. The generals are stunned into silence. The Emperor has placed the fate of his people and humanity squarely on your shoulders. You will lead the mission yourself. You will pilot the Odyssey into the heart of the darkness. You will command a mixed squadron of humanity's best pilots and the Tzolk'in's most elite warriors. It is a plan born of human unpredictability, a desperate roll of the dice, a stratagem so insane it just might save the galaxy. The squadron is assembled. It is a small, elite force. the tip of the spear. The Odyssey is at its heart. Its hull now bears Tzolk'in energy conduits, a seamless blend of human and alien technology. Alongside you are four of humanity's most advanced stealth fighters, the Phantoms, piloted by the best of the best, and flanking them are 10 Tzolk'in interceptors, the Crystal Darts. Their pilots are the silent, disciplined warriors of the Imperium's honor guard. It is a strange, beautiful, and deadly fleet. You stand on the bridge of the Odyssey. Your human and Tzolk'in crews work side by side. There is tension, but there is also a shared sense of purpose, a quiet respect. They are all professionals. They all know the stakes. This is not just another mission. This is the mission, the one that will be remembered in songs and legends for 1,000 years. If anyone is left to sing them, the Emperor's voice comes over the comm. A final farewell. You carry the hope of 2 species, Ambassador, he says. Fly with the spirit of 1,000 ancestors and the courage of a new dawn. His voice is heavy with emotion. It is the voice of a king sending his last knight into a battle against a dragon. We will make you proud, you reply. It is the only promise you can make. Lyra, you say to your AI, begin the first fold jump. Take us to the edge. The Odyssey's drive spools up. The familiar, silent lurch of space-time being bent to your will. The Tzolk'in homeworld vanishes from the holographic displays, replaced by the swirling vortex of the fold. The rest of your squadron follows you into the tunnel of light and color. They trust you. They trust your ship. They trust your insane plan. You emerge into a new sector of space. This is Vorlag territory. The star charts are empty. Where there should be suns, there are only black voids. Where there should be nebulae, there is only cold, dead dust. The Vorlag have been here. They have eaten this entire region of space. The silence is profound. It is not the peaceful silence of the deep void. It is the chilling silence of a graveyard of stars. I am detecting the Vorlag swarm, Lyra reports. Her calm voice is a stark contrast to the scene outside, approximately 10 million kilometers ahead. On the display, it looks like a smudge of ink against the blackness, a cloud of infinite night. But you know what it is. Trillions of drones, a sentient plague, waiting, hungering. Stealth systems are active, you announce to the squadron. Maintain absolute calm silence from this point on. We are ghosts. You begin your dive into darkness. The Odyssey leads the way. Weaving through the outer patrols of the swarm, the Vorlag. Drones are everywhere. They move in organized geometric patterns, a flowing river of death. You fly through the gaps, holding your breath with every near pass. The Tzolk'in pilots are incredible. Their ships dance through the deadly maze with a precision that is almost supernatural. The human pilots are just as good, their instincts honed by 1,000 simulated battles. But this is no simulation. The silence between the stars is deafening. There is no chatter, no banner, just the soft hum of your own ship's life support and the pounding of your own heart. You are a whisper in a hurricane, a single thought in a mind of nightmares. Every sensor is pushed to its absolute limit, searching for any sign of a command node, any fluctuation in the swarm's energy patterns that might betray the location of its brain. Hours pass. They feel like years. You push deeper and deeper into the swarm. The concentration of drones increases. The gaps between them shrink. The flight becomes more and more treacherous. It is like navigating an asteroid field where every asteroid wants to kill you. A bead of sweat rolls down your temple. Your hands are steady on the controls. You cannot afford a single mistake, a single moment of hesitation. The lives of your squadron and 2 civilizations depend on your focus. Then, Lyra finds something. Ambassador, I am detecting a massive, focused energy source, dead ahead. At the geometric center of the swarm, it is a gravitational anomaly, a point so dense it is warping space-time around it. It is shielded, masked. But the Odyssey's new Tzolk'in sensors can see it. A dark heart beating in the center of the monster. That's it, you whisper. That's our target. You have found the queen. Now you have to get to her. And she is surrounded by 1 billion angry guards. The real dive into darkness is about to begin. You have found the core. The central intelligence of the Vorlag. It is not a ship. It is not a station. It is a singularity. A point of infinite density. A captive black hole. Artificially created and contained. It is the power source and the central processor for the entire swarm. The drones are just extensions of its will. Claws on a hand of unimaginable size. The sheer audacity of it is breathtaking. To harness a black hole as your brain, it is the work of gods or devils. As you approach, the swarm's behavior changes. It knows you are here. The drones no longer move in predictable patterns. They begin to converge on your position. A tightening net of obsidian blades. They are onto us, your lead Tzolk'in pilot states. His voice is calm, resigned. It was inevitable. It's fine, you reply, trying to sound more confident than you feel. Just stick to the plan. We knew this was a one-way trip. A little gallows humor to lighten the mood. It doesn't work. Then the intelligence speaks. It does not use radio waves. It does not use psychic projection like the Tzolk'in. It communicates directly with your mind. But it is not a voice. It is not words. It is a feeling, a wave of pure, concentrated despair. It washes over you, over your entire squadron. It is the most awful thing you have ever experienced. It is the combined agony of 1 billion dead worlds. The final silent scream of every civilization the Vorlag have consumed. It shows you images, memories, not your own, but the memories of its victims. You see cities of light crumble into dust. You see oceans boil away into steam. You see the faces of children looking up at a sky that is turning black. You feel their terror, their hopelessness, their final fading spark of life as their sun is extinguished. It is a weapon of psychological warfare on a scale you cannot imagine. It is trying to break you, to crush your spirit, to make you give up. You feel your Tzolk'in pilots falter. Their mental discipline is strong. But this is an attack on the soul itself. You hear one of them cry out in his mind, a sound of pure anguish. Hold on. You shout over the comms, breaking silence. Fight it. It's not real. It's a memory. You try to shield your own mind, to build walls of logic and reason against the tide of sorrow. But it is like trying to build a sandcastle in a tsunami. One of the phantom fighters, piloted by a young woman named Jess, veers off course. She is lost in the nightmare. "Jess, come back!" you yell. But she cannot hear you. Her ship spirals out of control, directly into a cluster of Vorlag drones. They converge on her instantly. Her fighter vanishes in a silent, final flash of light. The despair in your mind intensifies. The intelligence is feeding on your loss. It is enjoying your pain. You realize what you have to do. You cannot fight this with discipline. You cannot fight it with logic. You have to fight it with another emotion, a stronger one. You focus your mind. You push back against the wave of despair. And you send the intelligence a feeling of your own. Not hope, not courage, but pure, unadulterated human defiance. A stubborn, angry refusal to lie down and die. You send it the memory of every impossible battle humanity has ever won. You send it the spirit of every rebel who ever stood against a tyrant. You send it the raw, untamable fire of the human will to survive. For a moment, the wave of despair falters. The pressure in your mind lessens. The intelligence is surprised. It has never encountered this before. Every other race it has consumed has met it with fear, with terror, with resignation. No one has ever met it with rage. No one has ever looked into the abyss and spat in its eye. You have its attention. You have shown it something new, something it does not understand. And in that moment of confusion, you see your opening, your one desperate chance. The swarm's core is vulnerable, and you are right on its doorstep. The Vorlag, intelligence changes its tactics. The wave of despair recedes, replaced by a new form of communication. A cold, clear concept projected directly into your mind. It is not words, but it has the structure of language, of a negotiation. It understands you now. It understands that you are not like the others. You are not just another meal to be passively consumed. You are a threat, an anomaly, and it wants to make a deal. It offers you a vision, a possible future. It shows you Earth, safe and sound. The Vorlag swarm passes by your sector of space, leaving it untouched. It shows you humanity thriving, expanding, reaching new heights of technological and cultural achievement, all under a peaceful sky. It is a beautiful vision, a tempting one. It is everything you are fighting for, everything you have risked your life to protect. Then it shows you the price, the terrible bargain. It wants information. It wants the location of every other emerging civilization in the galaxy. It shows you the Tzolk'in homeworld and a dozen other planets inhabited by species you have never seen. Young races just beginning to reach for the stars, just like humanity once was. All it asks is that you give them up. Sacrifice them to save yourselves. Give us the herd the intelligence communicates, and we will let the shepherd live. It is the ultimate temptation, the ultimate test of your character, of humanity's character. Save your own kind, and condemn countless others to a horrific death, or stand and fight for a galaxy that does not even know you exist. Your Tzolk'in allies feel the offer in their minds as well. You can sense their conflict, their fear. They have been fighting this monster for so long. The thought of a final end to the war, even at such a cost, must be a powerful lure. Do not listen to it. You transmit to your remaining squadron members. It is a lie. A predator does not bargain with its prey. It only offers a different kind of trap. You know in your gut that the Vorlag cannot be trusted, even if you accepted the deal. What is to stop it from coming back for humanity later? After it has grown stronger from feasting on all the other races? It is a devil's bargain, a choice between a quick death now or a slower, more certain one later. With the blood of the entire galaxy on your hands, the intelligence senses your hesitation. It sweetens the offer. It shows you more. It offers you technology, knowledge, the secrets of the universe it has gathered from the minds of 1,000 consumed civilizations. It offers to make humanity gods, to elevate you above all other life. All you have to do is betray them. You are unique, it projects. You are strong. Why should you die for the weak? Join us. Rule with us. The galaxy is vast. There is enough for both of us. You look at the holographic display. You see your remaining ships. 2 human, phantoms. 8 Tzolk'in, crystal darts. a small, battered band of brothers and sisters, staring into the heart of a monstrous intelligence. They are waiting for your command, for your decision. You are the ambassador, the voice of humanity. The choice is yours alone, but it is a choice that will define your species for all time. Will you be the saviors of the galaxy, or its betrayers? The silence stretches. The singularity waits for your answer. It is the most important decision in human history, and you have about 10 seconds to make it. This is the moment, the fulcrum upon which the future of the galaxy turns. The Vorlag, intelligence waits. The offer hangs in the void, a promise of salvation wrapped in the poison of betrayal. You look at the faces of your crew on the internal monitors, human and Tzolk'in. They are afraid, but they are resolute. Their eyes are fixed on you, trusting you. You take a deep breath. The air in the cockpit feels heavy, charged with the weight of worlds. You open a channel to the entire squadron and to the Vorlag intelligence. Your voice is calm, steady. It does not waver. This is the ambassador of humanity, you begin. You speak the words aloud, pouring all of your conviction into them. So the intelligence does not just hear the thought, but feels the sound, the vibration of defiance. You offer us survival. You offer us power. You think this is what we want. You think we are like you, driven by a selfish hunger. You are wrong. You have consumed 1,000 worlds. You continue, your voice rising in strength. You have fed on the despair of civilizations far older and wiser than our own. You have learned their secrets, their technologies, but you have learned nothing about their spirit, about what it means to be alive. You pause, letting the silence sink in, letting the intelligence process your rejection. To be alive is to connect, to protect, to stand for something more than just your own survival. It is a lesson humanity has learned 1,000 times, in 1,000 different wars on our own small world. You ask for the location of other races. You want us to lead you to the flock, so you can devour them. But you have made a critical error in your calculations. You lean forward in your chair, your eyes fixed on the singularity on your screen. You think we are the shepherds. You are wrong. We are the sheepdogs. The Tzolk'in pilots on your comms channel let out a collective cheer, a sound of fierce, joyous pride. They understand. They are with you. We will not be the instruments of your harvest, you declare. Your voice now a roar that echoes in the minds of everyone listening. We will not purchase our lives with the coins of treachery. We would rather burn in the light of a dying sun than live as slaves in a galaxy of ghosts. You wanted to know what humanity is? This is what we are. We are the single voice that says no in a chorus of fear. You have given your answer. The line has been drawn. The bargain is refused. Now, you give your final order, the one this entire insane mission has been leading up to. All ships, you command. Target the singularity. Prepare to fire the harmonic projectors on my mark. The moment of truth has arrived. The human stratagem reaches its final, desperate gambit. You have made your choice, the Vorlag. Intelligence communicates. The coldness in its thought is absolute. The offer is withdrawn. There is only wrath now, the full, focused anger of a spurned god. The swarm converges. The net closes. The drones move with a frantic, furious energy. They are no longer trying to intimidate you. They are trying to annihilate you. Mark, you shout. Your ships fire. From the Odyssey, from the remaining phantoms, from the Tzolk'in, crystal darts. A dozen beams of focused, resonant energy lance out through the darkness. They are not beams of destruction. They are beams of pure, harmonic sound, a single, perfect note, the note that will unmake a monster. The beams converge on the singularity, on the dark heart of the swarm. Humanity has given its answer, and it is a song of war. The harmonic beams strike the containment field around the singularity. For a moment, nothing happens. The beams are absorbed. The dark heart of the Vorlag continues to beat. A wave of despair washes over you from the intelligence. A final, triumphant feeling of, you have failed. But you hold your fire. You keep the beams focused. It's working, the Tzolk'in scientist on your bridge says. His voice is tight with tension. The resonant frequency is building. The containment matrix is becoming unstable. Then, a crack appears, a fracture of light on the surface of the perfect blackness. The intelligence screams, not in your mind this time, but on your sensors, a wave of pure energy and agony. The crack widens. The single, perfect note of the harmonic projectors is shaking the singularity's prison to its very foundations. The drones of the swarm begin to falter. Their movements become erratic, uncoordinated. Their connection to the central mind is flickering. The singularity implodes. Then it erupts. It is not an explosion of fire and shrapnel. It is an explosion of reality. A wave of pure, unraveled space-time expands outwards from the core. It washes over the Vorlag swarm. The drones do not explode. They simply dissolve. The harmonic flaw in their design, triggered by the collapse of their central intelligence, unzips their crystalline structure. Trillions of Vorlag drones, a plague that has terrorized the galaxy for millennia, vanish in a wave of silent, cascading failure. One moment, they are a sea of darkness. The next, there is only starlight. The wave hits your squadron. Your shields flare. The Odyssey shudders. Alarms blare across the bridge. The fold drive is offline. Lyra reports. We are stranded. The cost of victory. You are deep in enemy territory, with no way to get home. But you are alive. And the swarm is gone. Silence descends upon the battlefield. A true, peaceful silence. The silence of a nightmare that has finally ended. News of your victory travels through the void. The Tzolk'in, monitoring the swarm from a safe distance, see the entire thing vanish from their sensors. They do not understand how, but they know who is responsible. Your name, the human ambassador, is whispered in the halls of the Imperium. With awe, with reverence, you did not just save them. You gave them back their future. You gave them back the stars. The echo of the battle ripples across the galaxy. The sudden disappearance of a threat as vast as the Vorlag does not go unnoticed. Other races, hidden in their own quiet corners of the dark forest, begin to poke their heads out. They detect the Tzolk'in transmissions. They learn of the compact, of the human who led a suicide mission into the heart of the swarm and won. Your legend begins to grow. You are no longer just an ambassador. You are a symbol, a beacon of hope in a galaxy that had forgotten the meaning of the word. You and your surviving crew are eventually rescued by a Tzolk'in fleet. Your return to their homeworld is not as a stranger, but as a hero. The Emperor himself greets you. And for the first time, you see him smile. A true, genuine smile of a king whose kingdom has been saved. The compact is sealed not in desperation now, but in true friendship, in a bond forged in the fires of an impossible battle. Your journey home, to Earth, takes much longer. But when you arrive, you find a world that has been changed forever by your actions. Humanity is no longer alone. We are part of a galactic community, a community that sees us not as newcomers, but as leaders, as the people who stared into the abyss and did not blink. Your stellar Odyssey is over, but your legacy, humanity's legacy, is just beginning. Your name is whispered in the starlight, a reminder that even in the darkest night, a single defiant voice can light up the entire sky.